Okay guys, so now we're going on to our final experiment, which is the Jones reagent experiment, where we will be looking at two different reagents, which will be 2-butanol and 2-methyl 2-propanol. So we want to see which one of these is going to test positive and which one is going to test negative for with the Jones reagent. So remember, the Jones reagent is going to test negative for a tertiary alcohol. So we are going to see if that works with the two reagents that we have here. So we are going to take about half a centimeter and add it to vials 1 and 2 of the acetone or the propanone, as you can see over here. So I'm just going to level it, just more or less half a centimeter that we're going to add. So I'm first going to just focus on vial 1, which is going to be 2-butanol that we will be adding, because we're going to look at what happens immediately after I add the Jones reagent. Then we're going to wait a little bit, go on to vial number 2 with the 2-methyl 2-propanol, and then we will go and focus on this one, on vial 1 again, to see if there was any reaction that took place after a few seconds or a few minutes. Okay, so I am going to add 2-butanol into vial 1. About 10 drops. And then I'm going to add the Jones reagent. So you will see when I have the Jones reagent in my pipette, you'll see that it actually is a very nice orange color. So when you do add this orange Jones reagent to your vial with your 2-propanol, you need to remember that just because you add the orange reagent in there, it doesn't mean there's a color change or reaction that takes place. It is the color of the reagent. So let's add it in there, 10 drops of it. So you can see there is a nice blue color changing there. So while I was adding my Jones reagent into this vial, I actually heard some popping sound, so there can also be observations you can add. And it's a little bit hot, so that already tells us that a reaction is taking place. So if you look very closely at the bottom, there's already a little bit of a precipitate forming. It's a blackish precipitate that's forming. Okay. So we're going to set this one aside and see what happened to it after a few moments after we've finished with vial number 2. So we have our acetone in vial number 2, and then we are going to add our 2-methyl 2-propanol in there, 10 drops of it. And then we are going to add our 10 drops of the Jones reagent. So as you can see, it's orange, and it doesn't change the same color as vial number 1. But that is just because the reagent is also orange, so it is up to you to decide if this is a reaction that takes place or not. So then we're just going to look at these two, vial 1 and 2, and see what happens to the reactions, if there is a reaction or not, based on the color, if it does change any more or not. So we still have in vial 1, we have the bluish color and then a black precipitate. In vial 2, it's still an orange color. Okay, so now after a few minutes, we've left it, and now we see vial 1 with the 2-butanol is still the blue color, and it's a little bit more black precipitate there at the bottom, if you are able to see. And then in vial 2 with the 2-methyl 2-propanol, it's still orange, the color of the Jones reagent. So now that we're done with it, we're just going to discard both of these in the chromium waste as indicated in your instruction sheet. Okay, so now guys, you have seen all the different tests and all the different experiments that test positive and negative for it. So now you need to go and write on your report sheet what you observed from the video, what you've seen with the positive and negative results, and you need to identify if a reaction took place or not. And then you need to make your own conclusion. So that is it for the organic chemistry practicals, and I hope you guys had enjoyed a little bit of it.